It's Tuesday, March 31st, 2026. You're listening to the DX Today AI Daily Brief. Today, Anthropic's secret Mythos model leaks into public view, raising alarm bells across the cybersecurity world. SoftBank takes on a record $40 billion loan tied to OpenAI, fueling talk of a blockbuster IPO. And OpenAI pulls the plug on Sora after burning $15 million a day. Let's get into it.
Anthropic is scrambling after details of its most powerful AI model, yet spilled onto the open internet. A misconfigured content management system left nearly 3,000 unpublished documents publicly searchable, including draft blog posts describing a model called Claude Mythos. Anthropic confirmed Mythos represents what it called a step change in capabilities, dramatically outscoring previous models in software coding, academic reasoning, and cybersecurity tasks. The company is now privately briefing senior government officials, warning that Mythos could make large-scale cyber attacks significantly more likely this year. Cybersecurity researchers say the model's agentic capabilities allow it to independently probe and penetrate systems with unprecedented sophistication. Anthropic says it is working to finalize safety protocols before any public release.
Major money moves next.
SoftBank has secured a $40 billion bridge loan, the largest of its kind, to fund its $30 billion stake in OpenAI's record-breaking $110 billion fundraising round. The 12-month unsecured loan, arranged by JP Morgan Chase, Goldman Sachs, and 4 Japanese banks, has set off intense speculation that an OpenAI IPO may be imminent. Analysts note the short repayment window only makes sense if SoftBank expects a major liquidity event soon, likely a public listing that could be one of the largest in history. SoftBank's total bet on the ChatGPT maker now exceeds $60 billion, an extraordinary concentration that underscores its conviction that OpenAI sits at the center of the AI economy.
Infrastructure bets in Europe.
France's Mistral AI has closed $830 million in debt financing to build a major data center just outside Paris. The facility, in Bruyères-le-Châtel, will house 13,800 NVIDIA GB, 300 GPUs, and deliver 44 megawatts of computing power when it comes online in the second quarter. A consortium of 7 banks, including BNP Paribas, Crédit Agricole, and HSBC, backed the deal, marking Mistral's first significant debt raise. The company is also pursuing a separate €1.2 billion plan for data centers in Sweden, part of a broader push to reach 200 megawatts of capacity across Europe by the end of 2027. It is a clear signal that European AI labs are no longer content to rent compute from American hyperscalers.
A costly shutdown at OpenAI.
OpenAI has officially pulled the plug on Sora, its ambitious video generation platform, after the economics proved unsustainable. The company announced on March 24th that the Sora app, API, and all video generation features inside ChatGPT will be discontinued. The numbers tell a stark story. Sora was burning an estimated $15 million per day in inference costs at peak usage, while generating just $2.1 million in total lifetime revenue. Downloads had fallen 66% from their November 2025 peak. A billion-dollar content deal with Disney also collapsed alongside the shutdown. The Sora team is now pivoting to robotics research under a new project codenamed SPUD. It is a humbling reminder that even the most hyped AI products can fail when unit economics don't work.
Commerce meets conversation.
Shopify has flipped the switch on agentic storefronts, making products from 5.6 million merchants instantly discoverable inside ChatGPT, Microsoft Copilot, Google AI Mode, and the Gemini app. Activated on March 24th, the feature requires no separate integrations or additional fees. Shoppers find products through natural conversation, then check out on the merchant's own site. The move is backed by the Universal Commerce Protocol, co-developed with Google and endorsed by over 20 companies including Walmart, Target, Visa, and MasterCard. Shopify says AI-driven traffic to its stores has increased 7 times since January 2025, with AI-attributed orders up 11 times. It is arguably the most significant shift in product discovery since the rise of search engine optimization.
Breaking language barriers.
Google is expanding its Live Translate feature to iOS in 9 additional countries, turning any pair of headphones into a real-time translation device. Powered by Gemini AI, the system preserves a speaker's tone, emphasis, and cadence while translating across more than 70 languages. Previously limited to Android in just 3 markets, Live Translate now works in 12 countries, including the United States, United Kingdom, Japan, Germany, France, and India. The expansion arrived alongside Google's rollout of Search Live, its conversational search feature, to more than 200 countries and territories. Taken together, these moves show Google leveraging Gemini across its entire product ecosystem, making AI-powered features mainstream rather than experimental.
Enterprise agents go global.
Alibaba has entered the agentic AI race with Wukong, an enterprise platform that coordinates multiple AI agents to handle complex business tasks. Launched March 17th and currently in invitation-only testing, Wukong manages agents for document editing, approvals, meeting transcription, and research through a single interface. The platform is integrated with DingTalk, which serves over 20 million corporate users, with plans to expand to Slack, Microsoft Teams, and WeChat. Wukong arrives as Alibaba consolidates all AI operations under a new division called Alibaba Token Hub, led directly by CEO Eddie Wu. The restructuring signals that China's largest tech company views enterprise AI agents, not consumer chatbots, as its strategic priority.
Startup season heats up.
Combinators, Winter 2026. Demo Day showcased roughly 190 startups, with AI companies making up about 60% of the cohort, up from 40% in 2024. 14 companies reached $1 million in annual recurring revenue before even presenting, the highest number in YC history. The batch was heavily weighted toward B2B and infrastructure, with only about 5% focused on consumers. Standout companies included Arc Prize Foundation, building benchmarks to measure progress toward AGI, Terranox AI, using machine learning to locate uranium deposits, and Cardboard, an agentic video editor. YC CEO Gary Tan noted that 35% of the batch scored in the top 20% of all YC companies ever evaluated, a record no previous cohort had approached.
Policy moves on both sides.
The White House has released its National Policy Framework for Artificial Intelligence, a legislative roadmap for Congress built around 7 pillars. These include protecting children and empowering parents, safeguarding intellectual property, preventing censorship, and educating an AI-ready workforce. Notably, the framework calls for broad federal preemption of state AI laws that impose what it calls undue burdens while preserving states' traditional authority over fraud and consumer protection. The framework encourages sector-specific regulators and industry-led standards, rather than creating a new centralized AI authority. It is a recommendation, not binding law, and meaningful nationwide harmonization will depend entirely on whether Congress acts, but it sets a clear direction for how Washington wants to approach AI governance.
Meanwhile, in Brussels,
The European Union Council has agreed its negotiating position on streamlining the AI Act, the world's most comprehensive AI regulation. The March 13th agreement pushes back key deadlines for high-risk AI systems. Standalone high-risk systems now have until December 2027 to comply, while those embedded in products get until August 2028. The Council also added a new prohibition targeting AI-generated non-consensual sexual content and child sexual abuse material. Additionally, the Council reinstated database registration requirements for providers who believe their systems are exempt from high-risk classification. Negotiations with the European Parliament will begin next. The moves reflect a balancing act, giving companies more time to comply while tightening rules in areas of urgent public concern.
Platforms fight back against bots.
Reddit is launching its most aggressive crackdown on automated accounts to date. Starting this week, accounts flagged for suspicious behavior will face human verification challenges using passkeys and biometrics. The platform says it currently removes about 100,000 bot accounts every day. Legitimate developers running automated tools can apply for a new APP label through the r/Reddit dev community, making their bots transparent to users. Importantly, Reddit draws a line between humans using AI tools and fully automated scripts. A person who uses ChatGPT to draft a comment faces no restrictions, but an unattended bot posting autonomously will trigger verification. The policy reflects a growing tension across social platforms between enabling AI-powered creativity and preserving authentic human interaction.
And new silicon for agents.
NVIDIA used its GTC conference on March 11th to unveil Nemotron 3 Super, a 120 billion parameter hybrid mixture of experts model designed specifically for complex multi-agent AI applications. The model is optimized for scenarios where multiple AI agents need to coordinate, reason together, and share context in real time. It arrives at a moment when agentic AI has moved from concept to commercial reality, with companies like Alibaba, Shopify, and Anthropic all racing to deploy agent-based systems. NVIDIA's move positions it not just as the maker of the hardware that powers AI, but as a provider of the foundational models that run on it. It is a vertical integration play that could reshape how enterprise AI stacks are built.
That's your briefing for Tuesday, March 31st, 2026. For DX Today, stay curious.